ready to play speed round?
Boy.
This is a new one. So this is just I'm gonna shoot some questions at you. Just answer quickly, top of your head, couple sentences.
Yeah. Are you gonna ask Jamie questions?
She can chime in
go
if
back
she
and
wants.
forth.
Oh, the one twist on the speed round is that if you don't have an answer, you can flip it back at us.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Like I can ask another question to you?
No, you just say flip it back, and one of us has to answer it.
Oh, cool. All right.
All right. So first question: if you were stuck on a desert island, what's the one game you would have?
Oh man. Shadow of the Colossus. That's my
Nice.
number one. I feel like that's the best piece of art in game shape right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or still, even after 10 years.
There's a new Prey of the Gods is a similar. Yeah, looks very
Yeah,
cool.
looks cool. Also now on Kickstarter, I think. Maybe
I
it's not.
think they wrapped recently,
Okay.
maybe 2 days ago or something. What is your preferred music to develop with?
Oh man, nothing. When I'm programming, I can't listen to any music with vocals in it.
Okay,
I usually turn on Spotify Discover. They like generate a playlist weekly.
I love that.
It's super.
It's
good.
really good. Yeah.
My playlist is on fire this week.
Yeah, on Spotify.
On Spotify, Discover
It's like the
Weekly,
best
yeah.
part of my Monday is I get a new like
Yeah.
30 songs from Spotify.
Yeah.
I get a lot of folk music with like bearded dudes with banjos singing.
Nice.
That's my taste, I guess.
Your most egregious game debt. So the game that you haven't played but you really should at some point.
Oh man. I didn't get into Nuclear Throne nearly as much as I should. I played it like one time, and that was like really early in development. I love roguelikes, so it's weird that I haven't played it more.
I love Nuclear Throne. I'm just really bad at it.
I've heard that a lot.
But I go to PAX and I watch a guy like beat it like 3 times on loop, so that made me feel really bad about myself. GIF or GIF?
GIF.
GIF. All
Flip
right.
it, though. I want to hear yours too.
GIF.
GIF.
I'm a GIF guy.
Okay.
GIF.
we had a GIF person last time. And Rob was gonna flip the table.
Yeah. A couple of days ago at the co-op, we had like 3 or 4 people that were saying GIF, and the rest of us were just like, "What are you talking about?"
And then like a jar of peanut butter.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Cups of coffee consumed per day.
2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
That seems to be the common answer. Even though like I always expect like developers to be like 8 or something like that. I think we've all figured out like 8 is too much.
Yeah.
It makes you kind of crazy. So.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm a new coffee drinker too, so
Okay.
I'm still getting used to it. I just started brewing at the co-op.
Nice.
Hey, cold brew. I highly recommend it when you get a shot.
That stuff is really dangerous though.
It's so good.
Does that mean like put like iced water?
No. It means like so instead of brewing it hot with like hot water through a coffee dispenser, you actually let it brew over time in cold water.
Oh, weird.
So like there's a bitterness to the beans that doesn't come through when you cold brew.
Yeah, so Benedict was explaining last time that since there's no bitterness, you can drink more of it without realizing that you had a lot of it. So actually at Bit Bash last year, I drank like 6 cups of it and couldn't get to bed till like 7 a.m.
Oh, Dark Matter's cold brew is really good.
It's delicious.
It's on tap. So if you're over by Dark Matter on Belmont, or there's another one I think on Western.
Was that what they were serving at Bit Bash this year?
Yes.
It was great coffee.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, you've had it.
Game dev you'd like to switch places with?
Oh man, like take their job, work on their project.
Yeah, be on the like you could switch buys with them for like a day.
Derek, you definitely.
Oh yeah.
And I need to know what that guy's working on now.
He's always a little secretive about it, right?
Oh yeah, there was a book signing of his new book Spelunky at not at GDC, but like in San Francisco during GDC. And me and a big group of people went, and I asked him what his project was in the Q&A section. He's like, I can't talk about it. So it was so sad.
So now that you have the power to jump in his body, you just see what it is and send yourself an email. And
I wouldn't touch it. I'd just be like, wow, this is great, and then I'd leave because I'd make it worse.
Very nice. What did you want to be growing up?
Oh man, that's hard. I think an artist, like a 2D artist.
Okay.
I almost applied to art school when I was in high school, and then I chickened out. but I think I like games better. I think I would have still ended up making games, even if I had done that.
All routes would eventually lead to
Yeah.
that. And what was the first game you ever made?
First game I ever made. I made like crappy school prototypes before this, but I did a game jam at DePaul with like a programmer and a designer, and at the time I like had never really made a game before, and that was my first game jam. And I did pixel art, and it was a 2D platformer with like recolored DBZ sprites. And you're like in the game, you're holding a heart, trying to carry it to like somebody who died that you're trying to save or something, and the heart can be used as like a jetpack, and it just like squirts blood all over the place. I did the pixel art of that, and it was really fun, and the crowd there really liked it, and that's a good early memory of making games.
Yeah, the squirting blood heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I love, I know this is technically infeasible,
Yeah.
but just to have this run for about 20 episodes and then get all those first games on like a disc and release it, I think it'd be awesome.
I might still have mine.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. That'll be the collector's edition. So a new one for us. Why Chicago? And the question is, why'd you pick Chicago, and why has it been good for you in your game development career, or not? I mean, you can go the other way on that if you want to.
So when I was finishing high school, I was really angsty and like wanted to get away from my family.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew I had to like get as far away as I could at the time. I don't feel this way anymore. Like I like visiting my family now, but it was either Chicago or the East Coast, and it just so happened that two of my friends from high school were getting an apartment together in Chicago at DePaul, and I had actually just crossed DePaul off my list of schools. I would like they had approved me, and I was like, well, I visited and I didn't really like it, but then I found out my friends were going to be there, and college was scary, so it was easier to like move in with my friends, and that's why I moved to Chicago.
Yeah, it's too dangerous to go alone, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. And then obviously you've been involved in the community here and
Yeah.
developed a lot of good connections. So
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah. If that was part two of like why am I still in Chicago, it's definitely like anywhere I visited, Chicago has the best community, the best people, like the things we're making here, Bit Bash, like it's just the best here. I don't know anyone else doing anything as cool.
How about you, Jamie, since you're guest hosting?
Oh man, I'm born and raised Chicago.
Okay.
So
That's a good reason.
yeah, I grew up in Bridgeport, which is it's still Chicago city limits. Whereas a lot of people I know are like, I'm from Chicago, but they live in Naperville.
Right.
Not throwing shade on Naperville, but and in general, like my background is graphic design, web development, and clearly that goes hand in hand with a lot of game developers, and like they have to market their games. And having been to a lot of PAXs and other, just conventions all around the United States, and LA drives me completely nuts.
Yeah,
Seattle's so like dull and dreary. New York is just too much for me. So like Chicago's got a good pace. Everyone here in the like game scene is super rad, and
yeah, the indie scene here has been really blowing up.
yeah,
I don't know if there's a specific like Chicago special sauce factor, but it really seems like there's a lot of interesting stuff coming out.
Yeah, I think it's just the nature of everybody being well connected with each other, and like when someone is doing well, everybody else is celebrating with them, and I think that's important. Whereas like other cities tend to like there seems to be contention between different groups or spaces that are kind of building around things. So
that's a good point. I want to say the Chicago community has been insanely supportive and helpful with this Kickstarter. Leading up to it, everybody gave me tons of amazing feedback that I couldn't implement all of it because it was like too much and it would be too hard. But it was all really, really good feedback, super helpful. And then once it launched, it exploded because of how many people like tweeted it and shared it on Facebook and stuff like that.
Yeah, we all get like a real warm fuzzy when the Chicago Kickstarter succeeds. So like it's just our thing now that like whenever someone's doing something in Chicago, we all try to plug it as hard as we can. So speaking of plugs, Bit Bash over the weekend. The first time I wasn't able to make it, but It sounded great. Why don't we do a 5-minute recap?
Sure. Okay. So, I think all of us organizers, like 10 or 11 of us, are completely blown away at how well it went. Like, this was by far the best Bit Bash we've ever had. We were in a new space. Unfortunately, Threadless couldn't host us again, but because their spaces got that really great vibe. But we kind of made do with a new space, professional. It felt like a real art gallery this time.
Very cool.
So in a way, Bit Bash has grown up. We had 55 games, so everyone was like, "Oh God, how are we gonna like implement the right projectors and computers and iPads and controllers and speakers and power and all of that for 55 games," which was intense. But with the new space, we also got a pretty decent AV crew to come out and set all of that up for us. So fewer headaches this time around. Everyone loved pretty much everything. I can't even process how much love there was for this entire Bit Bash. So I want to give a shout out to Regular Human Basketball, which was by Power Move. That was a lot of fun. I had several people come up to me and say how good that game was, and then also to Chipsell and C418, who came into town with like 2 really amazing sets, along with Vino Sai and Pizza Pal. So it was a really awesome stage, and I had a blast. Like, I've never, as an organizer, been able to like relax and enjoy the event itself. Because you run around. There's an issue here. There's a fire there. Like greeting people, that kind of stuff. But I actually had time to like sit down and soak it all in. It was pretty great. Yeah. How
about you? Any standouts from Bit Bash this year?
My favorite.
Besides showing your own game, of course.
It was a hit, by the way. A lot of people loved it.
Thanks. My favorite thing was the vibe. That it felt like we had stolen a museum and then threw a party in the museum without permission, even though we totally had permission. That was my favorite part.
That's awesome. That was one of my like childhood goals. So
yeah.
No,
to
like
throw a party in a museum.
That's definitely what it felt like.
Yeah.
We were like, oh God, this is too big kids for us. Like, what are we gonna do? Gonna kick us out.
Regular Human Basketball was probably my favorite thing that I saw there. Is very different from anything I've played. It was like Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time if instead of a spaceship you're controlling a basketball player.
It's with aliens.
Yeah. What else was cool? The wall I was on was 3 local multiplayer Chicago indie games, which I thought was really cool. And the game right next to me, Victory Ball Real Winners, was also the game next to me at PAX this year.
Oh.
And so now we're like brother games.
They're like, hey neighbor.
every feature one of us makes, the other one steals in some way. Like at PAX, I had like a track mode where AI will play if nobody's touched the game in a while. And after the first day, like Kevin, who was showing it, was like, "Damn, that's a really good idea. I should totally do that." And he did it overnight. Over the first night at PAX, I think I was in the build the second day.
Wow.
And that was pretty cool.
Very cool. Yeah, I like that kind of like guerrilla sharing that the indie community does a lot, right? You just kind of borrow cool stuff from other people. So we'll get to our last feature quick, which is which is just what we're reading, listening, playing, consuming. So we're all creatives. We all create things. So it's interesting to see what you kind of ingest to create your creative stuff. So I can get it kicked off quick. I've been watching, so Russ Pitts is a new Kickstarter stage of development, and I watched his video for Spry Fox, which is actually one of my favorite game companies, and it's super well done. And I will say, like, everyone should go back his Kickstarter right now, because he's shooting Chicago studios this time, and it looks amazing. So please go check it out. Go back it.
Do that. I've been plugging that on my Kickstarter updates every time.
And then the other thing, so I haven't actually played any No Man's Sky yet, but I've been listening to a lot of the stuff coming out.
Oh, awesome.
It's really interesting to kind of like see the reaction to it. I haven't played it yet, but I do feel it's one of those, like, the creators had a very specific game that they were making, and everyone saw like that first like 60 seconds of footage and kind of made a game in their minds that they were expecting.
Oh, God, yeah.
So I think one, it's an amazing like technological achievement, and two, I think that they made the game that they wanted to make, but a lot of people are going to be maybe upset because it's not the game that they had in their heads. So.
Right. So for the past couple of months, I've been going back and forth between Super Smash Bros.
That seems to be a popular one here, right?
Yeah, the co-op plays a lot. I play at other locations too, and there's just something to that game where, like, I like fighters, and when you get acclimated to a fighter and you reach another level of gameplay, like, that's always very interesting to me. And I've finally gotten to the point where I'm happy with playing a couple of other backup characters now. So like my mains have been Link and Lucina, and now I'm getting pretty decent with Sheik's always really hard, but Peach is fun.
Yeah.
There you go.
This is the new Smash, right?
The new Smash, yeah, the 4, and for Wii U, and Jigglypuff. Oh man, I fuck Pumpkin. It's so good. Anyway. And then I keep jumping back to Samurai Gun. I don't know why. I just like the combination between those two games, like something very high level complex versus something very like simple and elegant. It's just a nice little switch in my brain.
I wish I could like will that game to sell more copies because it's so good, but it's sold like not that many copies at all. And it's really upsetting.
It's a work of art.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I first saw it at Bit Bash, I think 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So buy it. Come on,
Buy it.
internet, buy that game.
Samurai Gun with 2 N's.
We'll plug it. We'll plug it on the video.
Cool. Good. I have been reading Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, which is a really interesting book about how ideas spread like the plague, literally. Malcolm Gladwell goes through like the similarities between an idea and a disease or anything that spreads virally, and kind of talks about how you can study the similarities to help make your thing spread in the same way. And I'm still pretty early in the book, but it seems really interesting and actually useful for like judging whether your ideas are good enough to make a commercial product out of them.
Anything that you like pulled out for your Kickstarter?
That's interesting. For the Kickstarter, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I have to think about it more.
Yeah.
Hang on.
I already plugged his new podcast in the last episode, but it's still good. You should listen to it. Revisionist History is great.
Okay. And then I've been playing Video Ball a lot lately, which is a game by Tim Rogers and a few other guys, and it's
Published by Iron Galaxy, right?
yeah, published by Iron Galaxy, and it's a local or online sports game where you play as a triangle and shoot smaller triangles at a ball to knock into the other team's goal. But it is also probably the best esport I've played, and I've spent like 35 hours playing it in the last month,
Wow.
which is more than any other game I've played in a while.
I think it's really interesting that we're seeing so many games take the concept of like a field with goals and then do interesting things with them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a concept that's been around for thousands of years, but now we're like, oh, well, what if we had the players be remote control cars or triangles or, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's how like game design is like a new but also ancient art. You can always like pull in like old elements to make your game feel exciting. So
That's good.
so what's next for you? Kickstarter running for the next 20 odd days, and then what happens after that?
Kickstarter is running for the next 21 days. PAX West is at the end of that, and I will be going to PAX West. After that, I hopefully will be making this game for the next year.
Very cool.
That's what I'm going to be doing, and I'm also working on Battle Chef, and we are hoping to launch early next year. So I will be doing a lot of work on that. I think that's it. Hopefully that'll be all I'm doing.
Very cool.
Focus on those 2 things.
So give the audience all your info, Twitter, Facebook.
So once again, I'm Chris Wade. I'm running this Kickstarter for Sausage Sports Club. If you search Sausage Sports Club on the internet, the first result will be the website, the second result will be the Kickstarter. And then on Twitter, I'm Chris Wade _. There's 2 underscores after my name. You can follow me there. There's also a sports club game Twitter for the game, and Facebook / Sausage Sports Club, I think, not Sports Club game.
Cool.
And that's everything.
Yeah, we'll post all these up on the video too. So, and then plug yourself.
Sure. I'm Jamie Sanchez. I'm with Bit Bash, the Chicago's alternative game festival that happened just last week. And we'll have more parties coming up. So please subscribe at bitbashchicago.com. And then our newsletter will tell you all about upcoming events here. I'm also Space Dragon on Twitter. So follow
It's
me
an
there.
awesome handle. I still don't know how you got it.
I've had it forever. I've been on Twitter for like 8 or 9 years now.